Top 20 celebrity affairs that destroyed Hollywood careers. Here goes my vote. Welcome to Uncovered Tinseltown, Uncovered Today. We're diving into the most jaw-dropping celebrity affairs that tore apart careers and shattered public images. From heartthrobs who betrayed their spouses to love triangles that played out in front of the world, these stories will leave you questioning the price of fame. Which affair hit hardest? Which celebrity truly bounced back, and who's still living with the fallout? Don't just watch, join the conversation. Hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more explosive revelations from Hollywood's darkest secrets. Jason Aldean and Brittany Kerr. In 2012, country music star Jason Aldean found himself embroiled in a scandal that would affect both his personal life and his career. Aldean, who was at the height of his fame, was photographed with Brittany Kerr, a former American contestant, while still married to his first wife, Jessica Ussery. The images, which showed Aldean and Kerr engaging in intimate behavior, quickly became tabloid fodder, leading to widespread media coverage. Aldean was forced to publicly apologize for his actions, expressing remorse for the pain caused to his family and admitting that he had made a grave mistake. The scandal led to the end of Aldean's marriage to Ussery, and it seemed like his career could also take a hit. However, Aldean was able to weather the storm. Despite the controversy, he continued to enjoy success in country music, and in 2015, he married Kerr. The couple welcomed children together, and Aldean worked hard to rebuild his image, showing growth and remorse. However, the affair remained a significant chapter in his public narrative, with some fans and critics continuing to associate him with the controversy. Though Aldean's career didn't face lasting damage from the affair, the incident served as a stark reminder of how an affair can impact a celebrity's personal life, public perception, and the way fans view their favorite stars. His ability to recover shows the resilience that some public figures possess, but it also highlights the ongoing scrutiny that comes with living life in the public eye. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. The affair between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie is one of the most talked about and controversial love stories in Hollywood history. Their relationship, which began in 2004 during the filming of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, was fraught with scandal. At the time, Pitt was married to Jennifer Aniston, and Jolie was in a marriage with Billy Bob Thornton. The chemistry between Pitt and Jolie was undeniable, and their affair sparked intense media speculation, with tabloids dubbing them Brangelina. The timing of their relationship raised eyebrows, as it coincided with the breakdown of Pitt and Aniston's marriage. The media sensationalized their love affair, with cameras capturing their every move. The public largely viewed Pitt's involvement with Jolie as the cause of his marriage's collapse, and the couple quickly became one of the most talked about in Hollywood. In 2005, Pitt and Aniston officially divorced, and the media continued to obsess over the new "it couple" as they traveled the world and took on humanitarian causes together. Their affair, once exposed, became a defining moment in both of their careers. In 2014, after nearly a decade together, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie married in a private ceremony at their estate in France. Their union was highly publicized, but their marriage wasn't immune to challenges. In 2016, the couple shocked the world when Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The media frenzy surrounding their divorce reached a peak, with both stars involved in an intense custody battle over their 6 children. The dissolution of their marriage was finalized in 2019, marking the end of one of Hollywood's most iconic relationships. The affair that began Brangelina not only ended 2 marriages, but also left a lasting impact on both Pitt and Jolie's public images. While they each continued their careers, the public's fascination with their personal lives only grew. The Pitt-Jolie saga serves as a cautionary tale of how love, betrayal, and the spotlight can intertwine to shape careers and lives in the harshest of ways. LeAnn Rimes and Eddie Cibrian. In 2009, country music star LeAnn Rimes and actor Eddie Cibrian found themselves at the center of a scandal that changed their lives forever. Both were married to other people, Rhimes to Dean Sheramet and Cibrian to Brandy Glanville, when their paths crossed while filming the TV movie Northern Lights. Their on-set chemistry quickly turned into a full-fledged affair that soon became public knowledge, leading to the collapse of their marriages. The affair between Rhimes and Cibrian captured the public's attention, and the media relentlessly covered the details of their relationship. As the news broke, Rhimes and Cibrian were heavily criticized by fans and media alike for their betrayal of their spouses. In particular, the public was outraged by how the affair led to the unraveling of families, and Rhimes was painted as the homewrecker in the tabloids. Both stars faced harsh judgment for their actions, with Rhimes's country music career taking a slight hit due to the scandal and Cibrian facing a tarnished image in Hollywood. Despite the public backlash, Rhimes and Cibrian continued their relationship, and in 2011, they married. However, their affair remained a defining aspect of both of their public images, with fans and critics continuously referencing the controversy that surrounded their union. While they both continued their careers in entertainment, Rhimes' music and Cibrian's acting roles were often overshadowed by the affair. Their scandal serves as a reminder of how infidelity can impact not only marriages, but also careers, leaving a long-lasting imprint on public perception. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mildred Bina. In 2011, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the famous action star and former governor of California, was at the center of a shocking scandal that would change his life forever. The affair between Schwarzenegger and his former housekeeper Mildred Bina resulted in the birth of a child, Josefina, whom Schwarzenegger had kept a secret from his wife Maria Shriver and their family for over a decade. The truth came to light during the final stages of Schwarzenegger's time as California's governor, causing a huge public uproar. The revelation that Schwarzenegger had fathered a child with his housekeeper caused a massive fallout. His marriage to Shriver ended in 2011, and the scandal damaged his carefully cultivated public image as a devoted husband and father. Schwarzenegger's political career was already under scrutiny, but this affair further undermined his credibility. His family life, once seen as a strong point of his public persona, was now in tatters, and the affair became a defining moment in his legacy. Despite the personal fallout, Schwarzenegger continued his Hollywood career, but the affair cast a long shadow over his actions and reputation. His involvement in politics, once a promising chapter of his life, was also tainted by the scandal. While he managed to continue acting and producing movies, his career was never quite the same. The affair with Bina and the resulting divorce from Shriver marked a turning point in Schwarzenegger's public life, showing just how deeply a scandal can affect a high-profile career and personal relationships. Jim Bakker and Jessica Hahn. In the late 1980s, Jim Bakker, a well-known televangelist and host of the PTL Club, was at the center of a scandal that would devastate both his ministry and his public life. The scandal began in 1987 when Jessica Hahn, a former church secretary, came forward with allegations that Bakker had sexually assaulted her in a hotel room in 1980. Initially, Bakker had paid Hahn $279,000 in hush money to keep the affair quiet, but Hahn eventually revealed the truth to the media, leading to a public confrontation. The fallout from the affair was swift and severe. Bakker's once thriving ministry, which had millions of followers and operated one of the largest Christian TV networks, crumbled in the wake of the scandal. Public trust in him was shattered, and his credibility as a preacher and leader in the Christian community was deeply tarnished. As the media spotlight intensified, it became clear that Bakker's actions were more than just a personal failing. They represented a betrayal of the faith his ministry was supposed to uphold. The scandal also brought to light other financial irregularities in the PTL network, including allegations of fraud and mismanagement. Bakker was eventually convicted of fraud and conspiracy, sentenced to 45 years in prison, although he served only 5 years before being released in 1994. While Bakker later attempted to rebuild his career as a televangelist and television personality, his reputation was forever damaged by the affair with Hahn. The scandal serves as a stark reminder of how a personal betrayal can completely dismantle a public figure's career, particularly in the world of televangelism, where trust is central to success. Jimmy Swaggart and prostitute. In 1988, Jimmy Swaggart, one of the most influential televangelists of the 1980s, faced a public scandal that would leave an indelible mark on his career and legacy. Swaggart had built his ministry, which included a popular TV program and the Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, into a multi-million-dollar operation. His charismatic preaching and outspoken condemnation of sin had earned him millions of followers. However, the preacher's own moral failings came to light in a dramatic and embarrassing way. In March 1988, Swaggart was caught in a hotel room with a prostitute, Deborah Murdoch, after she was caught by a private investigator hired by a rival ministry. Murdoch later revealed that she had engaged in sexual encounters with Swaggart on multiple occasions. The scandal exploded across the media, especially since Swaggart had previously been outspoken about the immorality of others, including condemning fellow televangelists for their own scandals. The hypocrisy of his actions only made the situation more sensational and damaging. Swaggart's reaction to the scandal was swift, but did little to restore his reputation. He tearfully confessed to his congregation and publicly asked for forgiveness during a televised broadcast, but the damage was done. The scandal led to his temporary suspension from the Assemblies of God, and he was banned from preaching for several months. While he eventually returned to preaching and managed to keep his television ministry running, Swaggart's influence never fully recovered. His public image as a moral leader was permanently shattered, and his career never regained the prominence it once held. The incident highlighted the dangers of hypocrisy in the world of televangelism, where public figures are held to the highest moral standards, and any fall from grace can be catastrophic. Eliot Spitzer and the Emperor's Club, VIP. In 2008, Eliot Spitzer, the then governor of New York, found his career in shambles after being linked to a high-end prostitution ring known as the Emperor's Club VIP. Spitzer, who had made a name for himself as a tough, reform-minded prosecutor, was caught engaging in illegal activities with the escort service, which catered to wealthy and influential individuals. The scandal broke when federal investigators intercepted wiretaps, revealing that Spitzer had paid thousands of dollars to have sexual encounters with a prostitute known as Kristen, who was one of the high-end escorts working for the Emperor's Club. The revelations were shocking, given Spitzer's reputation as a crusader against corruption and financial misconduct. Just days after the scandal broke, Spitzer was forced to announce his resignation as governor of New York on March 12, 2008, in a televised address. His fall from grace was swift and public, with media outlets and political commentators swiftly condemning his actions. The scandal not only ended his political career, but also severely tarnished his public image. The loss of his position as governor of New York, one of the most powerful political offices in the country, was a direct result of his involvement with the prostitution ring. The scandal also led to Spitzer's financial and personal downfall as he faced legal and civil consequences for his actions. Despite attempts to rehabilitate his image by appearing on television and trying to re-enter the political arena, Spitzer's career never regained the momentum it once had. The affair served as a powerful reminder of the cost of hypocrisy in politics, particularly for those who position themselves as morally superior and dedicated to serving the public. John Edwards and Rael Hunter. John Edwards, a former U.S. Senator and a presidential candidate in 2008, faced a public and political disaster due to his extramarital affair with Rael Hunter, a videographer who worked on his campaign. The affair, which began in 2006, while Edwards was still married to his wife Elizabeth Edwards, was initially kept secret. However, in 2008, after rumors began circulating, the National Enquirer published an exposé revealing that Edwards had been involved with Hunter, who was also carrying his child. The scandal exploded in the media, further fueled by Edwards' initial denials. He not only denied the affair, but also publicly denied paternity of Hunter's child, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. In 2010, DNA testing confirmed that Edwards was indeed the father, forcing him to admit his paternity in a public statement. The affair caused a significant rift in Edwards' marriage, which had already been under strain due to Elizabeth's battle with terminal cancer. Elizabeth Edwards passed away in 2010, just a few months after the scandal broke, and her public and private suffering added an additional layer of tragedy to the affair. The damage to Edwards' political career was irreparable. Once seen as a rising star in the Democratic Party with a promising future, the affair derailed his presidential ambitions and ended his political career. In 2012, Edwards faced legal consequences when he was indicted on charges related to campaign finance violations, accused of using campaign funds to cover up the affair. Though he was acquitted of the charges, the scandal and its aftermath marked the end of his career in politics. The affair with Hunter exposed the dark side of a politician's personal life, showing how deeply private actions can affect public careers, reputations, and relationships. Gary Hart and Donna Rice. In 1987, Gary Hart, a prominent U.S. senator from Colorado and a contender for the Democratic presidential nomination, saw his political career unravel due to a scandal involving Donna Rice, a model and actress. Hart was considered a strong candidate for the presidency, known for his youthful energy and progressive ideas. However, his campaign was derailed when the Miami Herald uncovered that he had been having an affair with Rice. The story broke when the Herald received a tip about Hart spending time with Rice aboard a yacht named Monkey Business in the spring of 1987. The newspaper's investigative reporters staked out Hart's Washington, D.C. townhouse and witnessed the two leaving the house together. When confronted with the allegations, Hart initially denied any wrongdoing, stating that he was just being friendly with Rice. However, the Herald published photographs of the couple revealing their affair to the public, and Hart's denial only fueled the media frenzy. The scandal forced Hart to withdraw from the presidential race, and his reputation as a promising political figure was shattered. His campaign, once full of hope and momentum, crumbled in the face of public scrutiny. The affair, coupled with Hart's evasive responses during the crisis, showed the vulnerability of public figures, especially in an era when the media could make or break political careers. The scandal ultimately marked the end of Hart's presidential aspirations. Although he later returned to politics and served as an advisor, his 1987 affair with Donna Rice became a lasting example of how infidelity and public scrutiny can destroy a political career. Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini. Ingrid Bergman, one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses, nearly saw her career ruined in the early 1950s due to her highly publicized affair with Italian film director Roberto Rossellini. At the time, Bergman was one of the most celebrated actresses in Hollywood, having won multiple Academy Awards and starred in films like Casablanca. However, her affair with Rossellini, which began in 1949 while she was still married to her first husband, Petter Lindstrom, caused an enormous public backlash. Bergman's romance with Rossellini became a scandal when it was revealed that she had not only had an affair with him, but had become pregnant with his child. This revelation shocked the public, especially because Bergman was still married at the time. At the height of her fame, Bergman faced fierce criticism from the American public, many of whom considered her affair and divorce from Lindstrom a betrayal of her girl-next-door image. The scandal was compounded when she publicly announced her pregnancy with Rossellini's child, and in 1950 they had a son, Renato Rossellini. The affair was so controversial that Bergman was labeled a homewrecker and was virtually exiled from Hollywood. She was banned from acting in American films for a period, and the public turned against her. However, Bergman's career was far from over. She moved to Italy and continued to work with Rossellini on several films, including Stromboli, which she starred in. Despite the intense backlash, Bergman remained unapologetic about her love for Rossellini and refused to conform to Hollywood's expectations of her. Over time, the public's opinion softened, and by the mid-1950s, Bergman returned to Hollywood, starring in films like Anastasia and The Inn of the Sixth Happiness, which earned her further acclaim. Her affair with Rossellini while initially devastating to her career, eventually faded from public memory as she proved her lasting talent and resilience. The scandal serves as a reminder of how personal choices can have a profound impact on a public career, but also how an artist's ability to continue evolving can help them reclaim their place in history. Billy Crudup and Claire Danes. In 2003, Billy Crudup, a rising Hollywood actor known for his roles in films like Almost Famous and Big Fish, found himself at the center of a scandal that shocked the entertainment industry. Crudup, who had been in a long-term relationship with actress Mary Louise Parker for 8 years, left her when she was 7 months pregnant with their child. The reason he had fallen for his co-star Claire Danes, whom he met while filming the play Stage Beauty. The affair quickly became public, and the media latched onto the drama of Crudup leaving Parker during such a critical time in their relationship. The news of Crudup's sudden departure and the breakdown of his relationship with Parker made headlines, and his new relationship with Danes further fueled the media frenzy. Both Crudup and Danes faced intense scrutiny, with critics accusing them of betraying Parker in a particularly vulnerable moment. Despite the controversy, Crudup and Danes maintained their relationship for several years, although it eventually ended in 2006. The affair, however, had a lasting effect on Crudup's public image. He went from being a promising actor with an enviable career to a figure marred by scandal, with his reputation taking a hit, as many fans and critics could not forget the way he had ended his long-term relationship. While Crudup continued to work in film and theater, he never quite regained the same level of star status that he had before the affair. His relationship with Danes, though short-lived, serves as a prime example of how personal drama can intersect with professional life, leaving a lasting mark on an actor's career. Jude Law and Nanny. In 2005, British actor Jude Law, best known for his roles in films like The Talented Mr. Ripley and Cold Mountain, became embroiled in a scandal that significantly impacted both his career and his personal life. Law, who was engaged to actress Sienna Miller, was caught having an affair with his children's nanny, Daniela Meyer. The affair was a complete shock to the public, particularly because Law had been engaged to Miller, and the couple had been seen as one of Hollywood's golden couples at the time. The affair was exposed when tabloid newspapers published photographs of Law with Meyer, sparking a media frenzy. Law quickly issued a public apology, expressing deep regret and admitting that he had cheated on Miller with the nanny. His apology, however, did little to quell the public outrage, as many viewed his actions as a betrayal of both Miller and his children's trust. The affair left Law's image in tatters, and Miller ended their engagement shortly after the scandal broke. The fallout from the affair affected Law's career, with the actor facing a backlash from the public. Though Law continued to act in various films following the scandal, he struggled to regain the same level of admiration he once had. The media attention shifted from his acting talent to his personal life, and his public image was forever altered by the affair. In the years following the scandal, Law tried to rebuild his career and reputation, but the incident remained a defining moment in his public life. The affair with the nanny highlights how personal indiscretions can overshadow professional achievements, leaving a lasting imprint on a star's legacy. Gavin Rossdale and Nanny. In 2015, Gavin Rossdale, the frontman of the band Bush and ex-husband of pop star Gwen Stefani, found himself embroiled in a scandal that would tarnish both his public image and personal life. The affair involved Nanette "Nanny" Kaye, who had worked as a caregiver for the couple's children. It was revealed that Rossdale had been involved in an affair with the nanny for several years while still married to Stephanie. The affair became public when it was reported by the media, causing a media storm. Rossdale and Stephanie had been married for 13 years, and they had 3 children together. The revelation of the affair was shocking, especially given the couple's high-profile status as one of Hollywood's most adored families. Stephanie, who was also going through her own career highs and lows at the time, felt betrayed by Rossdale's actions. The affair led to the breakdown of their marriage, and they filed for divorce in 2015. The scandal also had a significant impact on Rossdale's career. While Stephanie, who found success as a solo artist and as a coach on The Voice, remained in the public eye, Rossdale faced severe backlash for his actions. His band Bush had been in a period of decline, and the scandal only added fuel to the fire, diminishing his reputation as an artist. Despite attempts to move past the affair, the incident remained a blemish on his public image. The affair with the nanny had a lasting effect on Rossdale's career and personal life, highlighting the personal struggles of stars who are often under the media's intense scrutiny. Ben Affleck and Nanny. In 2015, Ben Affleck, the Oscar-winning actor and director, became embroiled in one of Hollywood's most high-profile scandals when it was revealed that he had an affair with Christine Uzunian, the family's nanny. At the time, Affleck was married to actress Jennifer Garner, and the affair, which allegedly occurred during the later years of their marriage, was exposed by the tabloids. The affair was first speculated in the media after reports suggested that Uzunian had been seen spending time with Affleck, with some paparazzi shots fueling rumors. The story exploded when it was revealed that Affleck and Uzunian had reportedly had an intimate relationship while Garner and Affleck were still living together. Affleck and Garner, who had already been facing challenges in their marriage, announced their separation shortly after the affair became public in 2015. The scandal was a major blow to Affleck's public image. Known for his roles in films like Good Will Hunting, Argo, and Batman v Superman, Affleck's career had been on an upswing, but the affair and subsequent divorce dominated the headlines. Affleck's reputation as a family man and doting father took a hit, with many fans criticizing him for his actions. While Garner and Affleck both sought to maintain a sense of civility for the sake of their 3 children, the affair continued to haunt Affleck's public life. Although Affleck eventually moved on and entered into a relationship with actress Ana de Armas, his career continued to face challenges, with some of his films underperforming at the box office, and his personal life becoming a frequent subject of public interest. The affair with the nanny was a pivotal moment in his life, one that contributed to the media's shifting focus from his acting achievements to his personal missteps, ultimately shaping the public's perception of him for years to come. Jesse James and the women. In 2010, Jesse James, the motorcycle builder and reality TV star, found himself at the center of a massive scandal that would end his marriage to Sandra Bullock, one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses. After Bullock won an Academy Award for her role in The Blind Side, James, her husband of 5 years, was revealed to have had multiple affairs with several women. The scandal broke when Michelle "Bombshell" McGee, a tattooed model, publicly claimed that she had been involved with James for several months while he was still married to Bullock. James's infidelity shocked the public, as he had built an image of a tough, family-oriented man, which was in stark contrast to the personal betrayal that emerged. McGee's revelations sparked a media frenzy, and soon more women came forward with claims that they had also had relationships with James during his marriage. The backlash was swift and intense, with many fans and critics expressing their anger and disappointment in James's actions. As the scandal grew, Bullock, who had been blindsided by the affair, quickly filed for divorce. The media spotlight shifted dramatically from Bullock's career success to the fallout of her marriage. While James publicly apologized for his actions, his public image was severely damaged. His career, which had included appearances on reality TV shows like Monster Garage, also took a hit, with many distancing themselves from him due to his behavior. James tried to move on from the scandal, dating other women and attempting to rebuild his reputation, but the damage was done. The affair saga and the public fallout from it overshadowed his professional accomplishments and became one of the most talked-about celebrity scandals of the decade. Meg Ryan and Russell Crowe. In 2000, actress Meg Ryan, who had long been a beloved figure in romantic comedies like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, became embroiled in a scandal that rocked both her career and personal life. Ryan was married to actor Dennis Quaid, with whom she had been for nearly a decade. However, during the filming of Proof of Life, Ryan and her co-star Russell Crowe became romantically involved, leading to the breakdown of her marriage to Quaid. The affair was initially kept private, but rumors swirled as the chemistry between Ryan and Crowe was undeniable on screen. The relationship between the two stars became public when Ryan and Quaid announced their separation in 2000. Shortly thereafter, the media began to connect Ryan's divorce to her relationship with Crow, and public opinion of her took a hit. Many fans of Ryan, who had previously been known for her wholesome, charming roles, were shocked by the scandal and critical of her actions. Ryan and Crow's relationship, though initially filled with media excitement, did not last long. They split in 2001, and Ryan later opened up about the emotional challenges she faced during the period, admitting that the affair had been difficult for her as well. In the aftermath of the scandal, Ryan's career struggled. Films she starred in following the affair, including Against the Ropes and In the Cut, failed to meet box office expectations. The public's focus shifted from her acting talent to her personal life, and she was often seen through the lens of her failed marriage and controversial affair. Though Ryan continued to act, she was never able to reclaim the same level of adoration she had once enjoyed before the scandal. The affair with Russell Crowe had a lasting impact on her public image, illustrating how a personal mistake can dramatically affect the career and public perception of even the most successful stars. Tiger Woods and women. In 2009, Tiger Woods, the world-renowned golfer, saw his illustrious career and public image implode due to his involvement in a massive sex scandal. Known for his dominance on the golf course, Woods had been carefully crafting a family-friendly, squeaky clean reputation. However, his image was shattered when it was revealed that Woods had been involved in multiple extramarital affairs with several women, which came to light following a mysterious car accident outside his Florida home in November 2009. The affair scandal exploded when women, including Rachel Yucatel, a nightclub manager, came forward and admitted to having relationships with Woods. In total, more than a dozen women came forward with claims of affairs or romantic encounters with the golfer. The fallout from the scandal was swift and brutal. Woods lost major sponsorship deals with brands like Gatorade, Accenture, and AT&T, who dropped him amid the controversy. His endorsement deals, which had been a key part of his wealth and influence, were severely affected, as was his reputation. Woods' marriage to Elin Nordegren, a Swedish model, also ended in divorce in 2010. Nordegren had discovered the extent of Woods' affairs, and after months of public turmoil filed for divorce, which was finalized in 2010. The scandal sent shockwaves through the golfing world and beyond as Woods faced criticism not only for his actions, but also for the public deception of his image. Although he eventually returned to professional golf and achieved success, including winning the 2019 Masters, the scandal remains a major part of his legacy. His career, once soaring to unimaginable heights, was forever marred by his personal transgressions. Kristen Stewart and Rupert Sanders. In 2012, Kristen Stewart, best known for her role as Bella Swan in the Twilight Saga, became embroiled in one of Hollywood's most talked-about and scandalous affairs. Stewart was in a highly publicized relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, but things took a dramatic turn when she was caught having an affair with Rupert Sanders, the married director of Snow White, and The Huntsman, in which Stewart starred. The affair became public when photos were released showing Stewart and Sanders in intimate embraces, and the scandal exploded when Stewart publicly admitted to cheating. Sanders was married to Liberty Ross, who played Stewart's mother in the film, and the affair shattered both Stewart and Sanders' personal lives. Stewart's public apology to Pattinson and the media admitting that she had made a momentary mistake did little to calm the public's judgment of her. The affair damaged Stewart's public image, with many fans feeling betrayed by her actions, especially given the popularity of the Twilight series and her seemingly perfect relationship with Pattinson. The affair had a significant impact on Stewart's career. Although she continued to work in Hollywood, including reprising her role in Snow White and The Huntsman. In a sequel, the public backlash affected her box office success and overall reputation. Her relationship with Pattinson ended shortly after the affair came to light, and the media focused heavily on the turmoil in Stewart's personal life. Though she later moved on from the scandal, the affair with Sanders and the subsequent fallout remained one of the defining moments of her career, showing how deeply personal decisions can affect an actor's public life and career trajectory. Johnny Carson and Christopher Carson. Johnny Carson, the legendary host of The Tonight Show, was widely regarded as the king of late-night television, entertaining millions with his quick wit and charm. However, Carson's personal life was not as smooth as his public persona. One of the most shocking revelations came after his death in 2005, when it was revealed that he had disowned his own son, Christopher Carson, due to his son's interracial relationship. Christopher, a musician, had fallen in love with a woman who was black, and Carson, who had always maintained a public image of liberalism and humor, reportedly could not accept his son's choice. Carson gave his son an ultimatum: choose your partner or choose me. Christopher chose his relationship, and as a result was cut off from his father, both emotionally and financially. The tension between father and son continued until Carson's death, with the two reportedly not speaking for years. The story of Carson's estrangement from his son surfaced after his passing, when Crystal Carson, his granddaughter, was revealed to have been left out of his will. Carson's rejection of his son, especially given the racial context of the relationship, created a stark contrast to the public image he had built over decades as a beloved TV personality. The scandal, while not widely discussed during Carson's lifetime, was a harsh reminder of how deeply personal prejudices can affect family dynamics and legacies, even for someone with such an iconic and celebrated career. Ryan Phillippe and Abby Cornish. In 2006, Ryan Phillippe, the handsome Hollywood heartthrob best known for his roles in films like Cruel Intentions and Flags of Our Fathers, became embroiled in a scandal that would affect both his personal life and career. Phillippe, who had been married to actress Reese Witherspoon for nearly 7 years, was reported to have begun an affair with Australian actress Abby Cornish, whom he met while filming the movie Stop Loss. The affair became public when media outlets began to report that Phillippe had been seen with Cornish in several locations, and rumors swirled about the end of his marriage to Witherspoon. Witherspoon, who had achieved major success with Legally Blonde and Walk the Line, was seen as America's sweetheart, and the news of Phillippe's affair hit the tabloids hard. The couple eventually separated in 2006 and filed for divorce in 2007, with Witherspoon going on to raise their 2 children and continue her career, while Phillippe's image was significantly tarnished by the affair. The media frenzy surrounding the affair with Cornish cast a shadow over Phillippe's career, and his previously clean-cut boy-next-door image was replaced with one of infidelity and betrayal. Despite his attempts to move on, his reputation as a family man was damaged beyond repair. Phillippe and Cornish dated for several years after the affair became public, but their relationship eventually ended in 2010. Phillippe's career struggled after the scandal, with many of his subsequent films failing to achieve the same level of success as his earlier projects. The affair with Cornish and his messy divorce from Witherspoon marked a dramatic turning point in his public life, and he was never able to fully reclaim the same level of admiration from the public or critics. Affairs have always been a part of Hollywood's scandalous history, and the top 20 celebrity affairs that have destroyed careers show just how quickly a public image can crumble. From shocking betrayals like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's romance breaking up Jennifer Aniston's marriage to Jesse James's betrayal of Sandra Bullock, these stories remind us how personal choices can have far-reaching consequences. Have these scandals irreparably damaged their careers, or can they come back stronger? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more juicy Hollywood reveals right here on Uncovered Tinseltown. Uncovered,